What's up, everybody? It's Rich, the Side-Eye Stitcher, coming in for, at this point, my monthly update. I understand that when I first started this, I was trying to push out weekly updates, and right now, with life the way it is, monthly has been what has worked. With that being said, after the new year, I've got lots of projects lined up, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. Hopefully that comes out before the new year. Between work, family, just free time has been very limited, and the budget with Christmas coming has been a little tighter, so I haven't been able to go out and get fabric and patterns and new projects to take on for quilting projects. That's not to say that I haven't made a lot of progress on some of the quilts that I've been working on. I've made quite a bit. Actually, I've made quite a bit of progress. So the first quilt that I want to update everybody on is my Flying Geese quilt. This one has been a lot of work. There's been so many flying geese, and I still have 2 rows to go. But there's a big problem with this quilt. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. With all of the fabric, with those colors, when they're set side by side with just the fabric, I love the way that they look together. But for some reason in Flying Geese, when it all comes together in rows, I'm not really, it's not really my thing right now. With all that being said, I am going to finish it. I'm not going to leave it undone, because I've dedicated a lot of time into that, and I don't see it as a failure because I have gotten really good at making flying geese, and I can make them faster and more accurate. Would I take on a quilt with this many flying geese again? Probably not. I don't know if I'm going to keep this quilt when it's all said and done. That's still kind of up in the air. I had a hard time finding the background fabric that I was using for that. I had a local shop that pretty regularly would keep it in stock, but for some reason the last couple times that I went, they were out, and I needed like 2 more yards to finish the project. I was able to pick that up a couple days ago, so I've got it. I'm putting that one on the back burner for a little bit. I wanted to finish up a couple other projects and get those knocked out before I dedicated a lot more time to the Flying Geese. I originally recorded this video prior to Christmas. And prior to Christmas, I had a deadline. Moving from the Flying Geese quilt, which really right now is not my thing, I needed to finish a quilt that it had a lot of meaning to me. And you'll see it right now. This was my daughter's quilt. This was actually the second quilt top that I ever made. It's been sitting unfinished in my tote of quilt tops for a while. I initially sewed this one up to give her for her birthday, but that was many months ago. So now it became a Christmas quilt. I've already gifted it to her at this point. I made my deadline. I got it done. I was up in a couple late nights leading up to that, but I got it done. And I'm really excited about how this one turned out. This one, I opted to just straight line quilt it. There's some imperfections in the backing. So there's a couple little creases, but once I washed it and it kind of crinkled up a little bit, you can't even tell. And it's for my daughter, and she loves it anyways. So either way, it was a huge success. So with the end of the year coming and with a new year coming, I've already outlined really all the projects that I want to take on for 2026. I'm not going to get into them in this video because, like I said, I've got another video coming up that I'm excited to share with everybody, that's got some of the challenges I want to take on and some of the overall techniques that I want to try and incorporate into some quilts next year, and I'm super excited about that. But with that, or with not having new projects starting until the new year, I really wanted to wrap up some quilts that have been haunting me from the corner. So the quilts that I'm referring to, well, one of them was my daughter's rainbow quilt, which I'll leave a link to the pattern in the description for that one. The other 2 that have been sitting, this one has been basted and sitting, and I'll do some overlay of some better footage of this quilt. This one has been sitting basted in the corner over there, taunting me for the better part of maybe 2 months now. I did one straight line quilt to the middle, and I think I got frustrated because I didn't have the space to move things around, and I put it aside. I didn't pick it back up, but I wanted to get it done. Now it's done. It's got binding on it, which I just cut strips of the fabric that I used inside of it. Uh, and once again, I just went straight line quilting. There's 2-inch blocks. I think it turned out amazing, and I can't wait to wash this and see how this one turns out. The other quilt is this guy, which once again, I'll do a video overlay that kind of shows what it is. This was the race quilt with the jelly roll that I had that I just wanted to do something with. This one was really fun to sew together. I went with kind of the cheater binding on this one. As you can see, like I sewed them together, or I sandwiched them kind of inside out, flipped it around. There's my cat's joining us. And then stitch about a 3/8 inch strip around to kind of give it the illusion that there's a binding, but there's not really a binding. And then for this one, I just did straight line quilting up each row. So they're 2 inches apart strips, and then there's a big square across the whole outside. There is one more quilt that's been haunting me from the corner, and that is my very first quilt top. I tried creating a quilt sandwich with that one with some Joann's. It's like polyfill. It's gross. It's really terrible batting, and it's super high loft, and I'm pretty sure that my backing is completely crooked, and I stitched over a bunch of spots that I shouldn't have stitched over, and it's in really bad shape. I've been looking at it for the last couple of days, and I don't think there's any way that I can salvage this. At least any way that I feel comfortable doing it. And I understand that I did the best that I could with the situation that I was in, 6 months ago when I tried doing this. But I've started ripping that backing off. I'm gonna take it back down to the quilt top, press it again so it's nice and good, and then I'm gonna get the backing that I've been using, which is the Hobbs Heirloom, which I really like. It's what I've used for all of the quilts so far. And pick out a new simple backing for it, and then try that one again, because I didn't want to leave it in that condition. It was pretty bad. So that one I probably won't be able to finish before the new year, but at least I won't have that mangled mess that has been existing in the corner any longer. So looking ahead to 2026, there will be a video coming out that's got the projects that I want to do. I'm one of the ones that I'm most excited about is I'm going to do another shibori quilt. I'm going to go and try and do one that's a little closer to what my original inspiration was for the first one. I'm going to try and get a little creative with the fabric that I'm going to use for that, and I'll get into that when I get to probably my 2026 video. And then I'd also, this is going on a little side tangent, I'd really like to get a little better at filming some of these projects so that next year you're not just getting the talking head update videos as often, but you'll get some videos that are more like a project from start to finish. I really like Dave's Craft Room. He's one of my other big videos that I watch every time he posts a new one. I like how he does it, so I'm trying to figure out how I can set my space up to kind of function in the same way so that I can get some of the recording of me actually working on projects that aren't just, me staring at a cutting board for 30 minutes trying to do math. Also in 2026, I reserved my day pass for Friday of QuiltCon in Raleigh. I live close enough that I don't need to fly when I don't need to stay down there. It's about a 2-hour drive for me. So I'm going to drive down in the morning Friday, spend all day down there, and then drive back in the afternoon. I'm super excited about it. I've been seeing the people's accepted quilts kind of posted on Instagram and everything, and I really want to get and be able to see them close up and actually see the quilts in person. I know that I'm a very small YouTube channel. It would be awesome if somebody recognized me at QuiltCon. I doubt they will. It would be very awkward, but it would be awesome. So I hope that I see somebody that follows the channel possibly at QuiltCon. But that's pretty much everything for now. These quilts have consumed the last few weeks of my time. If you stuck around, thank you. I truly appreciate everybody that's followed, subscribed, left comments. It keeps me motivated to keep making the videos. So with that being said, I'll see everybody next time. You'll see me in the 2026 update video. Goodbye.